Hello, my 8th grade math students. All right, today we're going to be talking about volume of cones. Now, we just finished up volume of cylinders. So hopefully you all got your worksheet and your assessment submitted for last week. Now, this week we're going to be talking about volume of a cone. So the one vocab that we have for today is obviously cone. What is a cone? A cone is, yeah, you think of an ice cream cone, right? But it's going to have to be like the sugar cone, not the white cake cones. It has to be the sugar cone. And that is a solid, it's a 3D object that has a circular base and one vertex. A vertex is the point right here. You have one vertex. If you take that vertex and you draw a straight line all the way down to the center of that circle, that gives you the height of your cone. Since you're in the center of the circle, then you go straight out and that gives you your radius. So you have your height here, your radius here. You make that 90-degree angle then. So what do we want to know? We want to find the volume of this 3D figure. To find the volume, you know the generic, pretty much to find the area or the volume, of a, trying to think of the word here so I don't mess you up. Like a rectangular prism or the cylinder, it is, we talked about the capital B. That stands for your base area. So you find the area of your entire base, all right? But in this case, we only have one. We don't have another one up here to connect it to. We don't have two of them like in the cylinder. So we just have the one base, and then so the base area times the height. And what is the base area here? We're talking, it is still a circle. So how did we find the area of a circle? Pi r squared. All right, so basically it's the cylinder formula, pi r squared h, but then you have to take it times 1/3. So it's 1/3 pi r squared h. And why do you have to take 1/3 times a cylinder? Because pi r squared h is the cylinder formula. Why do we have to take that times 1/3? Because it would take 3 cones. So if we took this and we took the same exact base up here, you would have 3 cones. So if I filled this cone up with water and filled this cylinder, it would take 3 of these cones to fill that cylinder with the same base. All right, so it takes 3 cones to make a cylinder that size. So that's why you take it times 1/3, because we only need 1/3 of what a cylinder would be. All right, now let's go down, let's do a practice. Again, some of you did not show all your work on your worksheets and quizzes that you submitted. You need to show me your work. You can't just put an answer. All right, I need to see your work off to the side. If you want to type it, fine. If you want to open it up in the app so you can draw on it and submit it from there, perfect. But I do need to see your work, all right? Or you're not going to be getting full credit. You didn't, on the cylinder, get full credit, and you won't on the cone. So you need to show all your work. Thank you. And don't forget those labels. Lots of labels were forgotten. All right, first one, so we have volume equals 1/3 times pi r squared times the height. So we take 1/3 times the pi r squared, which is our circle, times the height of our cone. All right, volume equals 1/3 times pi, which is 3.14, times the radius squared, so I need 2 of them, and in this case they give us the radius, which is halfway across, and that is 5, so 5 times 5, and then times the height, which is, in this case, 8 inches. Now, if you have a scientific calculator and you know how to work that and you know how to put fractions in, then go ahead and you can take your fraction 1/3 times 3.14 times 5 times 5 times 8. But if you don't know how to enter a fraction on the scientific calculator, you're not going to want to go 1 divided by 3 because you're going to get 0.333 repeating, okay? What you're going to want to do instead, then, if you don't have a scientific calculator, what I suggest is you take these, you multiply pi times 5 times 5 times 8. All right? And then you get that answer, and then you will divide it by 3. All right? That's because multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing your answer by 3. All right? So, all in all, after you get it all finished, no matter which way you do it, if you do it this way and put the fraction in on your calculator, or if you multiply all these and put it on the top here and divide by 3, you'll get the same answer either way, which will end up being 209.3. And then here's where a lot of points were lost. Don't forget your label, and that is inches cubed, because it's a 3D figure. So it's volume 209.3 inches cubed. Next one, and the last one actually. So volume equals, I'm going to write it 1/3 times pi times radius squared times height. Volume equals 1/3 times pi times the radius. And what's the radius? Okay, don't let this trick you now. Here they don't give you the radius, they give us the distance across the entire circle, which is your diameter. So now, since it's the whole way across, you have to divide it by 2, and that's going to equal 15. So this side's 15, and this side's 15. So your radius is 15. So 15 times 15, and then times the height. What's the height that makes this up? 22 feet. All right. Now, what does volume equal? Again, 1/3 times 3.14 times 15 times 15 times 22 is 5,181. And then please, please, please don't forget your labels on your worksheets and assessment. Feet cubed. That is the area of that cone. And again, if you don't want to use the 1/3, you just take this, multiply all that, and then take that answer and divide it by 3. Because dividing by 3 is the same as multiplying by 1/3. All right. So that's all for today. If you want to go on next, you'll be doing the more practice, more notes with some guided practice and a couple more practice problems to go through, and then you will be on to your worksheet. So next video will be more notes and guided practice. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions.